1, 2, 3, 4.
Rock City Networks and The Push coming to you from Face the Music 2010, and joining me is Michael Haydon from the Middle East. How are you, mate?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What's happening today?
Oh, I just messed my car up a bit in the parking garage before.
You kidding me? What in the car park here at the Arts Centre?
Yeah.
What did you do, mate?
I pulled it into a pillar, so there's blue all over it now, and a few dents.
So we should go have a look at that at some point and assess the damage.
Yeah.
Is it just panel damage?
I think so. It's just like down near the wheel, but there's a lot of blue. I think more paint rubbed off than there was damage done.
Yeah. Well, it's not a good start to the day, but I mean, at least the car's drivable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. No big deal.
We'll go brush that blue paint off in case the Arts Centre tell us that we need to clean it up or something.
Yeah.
Well, it probably happens all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to Face the Music. Enough about car accidents. How have you found it over the last couple of days?
This is actually, I've only just gotten here.
Arrived today? Okay.
But I was talking to my friend Andrew before, and he's saying everything's going great. Like, everyone's showing up, all the speakers are doing really well, good turnout, kids are loving it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what do you look to take from events like this, music conferences and showcasing and that sort of stuff when you're here?
I don't know. It's good to meet people who are kind of doing the same thing that you're doing, and I don't know, not feel like you're kind of all alone in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious that I'm not all alone in whatever I'm doing.
No, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
As far as an artist or an entity as a band is concerned,
Yeah.
sometimes you kind of feel like, well, I'm pushing the proverbial up the hill by ourselves, but really, there is a bigger circle of people out there.
Yeah. And it's good to just talk to people who are like interested in whatever you have to say, even if you don't think it's worth saying. Sometimes people can get something out of it.
Yeah. Now, as far as panels go, what's happening with the panels over today?
Well, I'm just doing one today. I'm doing one called, I think it's called The Traps and the Trappings, and it's...
Oh, yeah. Is that the one facilitated by Lindsay?
Yeah, that's the
right.
one.
Yeah.
It's just about, I don't know, I guess advice to people who have, kind of trying to do their career trajectory, like trying to do their thing in music and work out a way of doing it where they don't get caught up in a bunch of stuff along the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were chatting to him before about it actually, and he's definitely had the experience and the know-how to weave everyone through that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, right down to knocking back. I mean, he must have listed at least 15 different offers, tabled to them through commercial whatever.
Yeah.
And pretty much the one we got down to that they really took on board was the apart from a jeans commercial, I think he said in '96 or something, was the Big Day Out, not Big Day Out, pardon me, the Dream World ad campaign. Never had so much fun, which was about 6-7 years ago. And he was kind of explaining that after the 6-month contract, they kept sort of playing the ads and not, they were paid for it, but then after that, they got a house band, to sort of record something similar. And that was sort of the end of it. So I guess these are the trappings that he'll be sort of taking you guys through.
You hear that done a bit, like some commercials or like that. I think there was like a shampoo commercial for a while that there was that really famous theme to that American Beauty film. It was done by Thomas Newman. And then they just got someone to use the same notes in a different order to make it sound like that.
Yeah.
Just so they don't have to pay however much it costs to get the original song.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Now, with the Middle East, have you run into anything like that? Have you run into any trappings so far? I mean, you guys seem to be just sort of cruising along nicely.
I don't know. We've managed to get some really good people around us who have kind of done a lot of the mistake making in advance.
Yeah.
So they can help us out in trying not to, I don't know, just pick the wrong stuff. Like, be assertive and make sure you kind of just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Now how is the Middle East going at the moment?
Good. We're all split up a bit at the moment. We're all across different cities. Just finishing off an album that should be out early next year.
Yeah.
Just working a summer job at the moment, so
just
having a bit of a break.
Taking a bit of time off.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to be a bit more domestic after touring for more than half the year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a pretty heavy touring schedule as well. It's
it was pretty long.
how do you feel coming out the back end of that stuff? I know a lot of artists, especially when I've gone on tour with a film artist, and I'd not realised that you go through this, but when you come home from a tour, you kind of find yourself feeling a little bit lost when you've been away for that long.
Yeah, like
you find yourself waking up at weird hours in the morning, or wanting to be out when you should be in bed, and kind of just getting bored or down on the whole life thing.
Yeah.
Going back to domesticity, it's how do you deal with that when you come back from that sort of stuff?
Well, like as far as the domestic stuff goes, like I love that. Like I loved coming home and seeing all the friends I'd kind of grown up with, just hanging out, having beers on the roof, and I don't know. It hasn't been a really big deal to me just because I feel like I've kind of kept a really solid structure back wherever I'm not touring, which is just to be at home.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I value that equally, if not more, probably more. No, definitely more than all the touring stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what you go back to. You can't stay on tour your whole life.
No, you definitely can't. And you just wouldn't survive that long if you stayed on tour your whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you finish the album, what markets are you looking to target next year internationally?
I don't know. Like we covered a lot of ground when we did we did a bunch of American and Euro touring. So we hit all of, I guess, Eastern Europe for the most part, some of the Netherlands, all around the United Kingdom. We did a lot of America. We didn't do a lot of inland America, and we missed out like Florida and stuff like that. We did a bit of Canada. So I don't know, we kind of just did a pretty big spread. So I guess we'll go back and fill in the gaps and go back to some of the spots that I guess worked really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to say at this point.
Fair enough.
I guess we'll be targeting wherever it hits.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're going to take on Norway or something like that, but, I don't know, we'll just see what happens, I guess.
That's fair enough.
Not too worried about it.
That's fair enough. Well, mate, thank you very much for joining me on the couch, and have fun at the panel discussion. It's going to be interesting. I think Lindsay's got a few things up his sleeve that he's going to throw out there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I'm sure everyone's going to be walking away much wiser from that panel discussion. And good luck with the Middle East, and all the best.
Thanks,
to
man.
everyone. And hopefully we can catch up with you next year upon the album release.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
All right, thank you very much, Michael.
Thanks, man.
It's Michael here from the Middle East. It's Face the Music for Rock City Networks and The Push.